Inflation is a word we hear a lot, but what does it actually mean? In simple terms, inflation is when prices for goods and services go up over time. This means that the money we have buys less than it used to. Think of it like this. Last year, a gallon of milk might have cost $3. This year, because of inflation, that same gallon of milk might cost $3.50. That's inflation at work. Inflation is a natural part of a healthy economy, but when it gets too high, it can cause problems. Imagine if the price of milk doubled in a year. People would have to make tough choices about what they could afford. This can lead to uncertainty and hardship for families and businesses alike. We feel the effects of inflation every time we go to the grocery store, fill up our gas tanks, or pay our bills. When prices increase, our hard-earned dollars just don't stretch as far. This can make it difficult to afford the things we need, like housing, food, and healthcare. For example, let's say you're a young professional just starting out. You're excited to find your own apartment, but high rent prices, driven by inflation, are eating into your budget. This might mean you have to settle for a smaller place or a longer commute. Inflation can also impact our savings. If the interest rates on our savings accounts are lower than the rate of inflation, our money is actually losing value over time. This makes it harder to plan for the future, whether it's buying a home, retiring comfortably, or simply having a financial safety net. The good news is that the government has tools to help manage inflation. These tools are called monetary policy and fiscal policy. Monetary policy, controlled by the Federal Reserve, focuses on managing the money supply and interest rates. Fiscal policy, on the other hand, involves government spending and taxes. When inflation is too high, the Federal Reserve can raise interest rates to slow down borrowing and spending. This can help to cool down the economy and bring inflation under control. The government can also use fiscal policy to influence inflation by adjusting spending levels and tax rates. These policies are complex and require careful consideration. For instance, if interest rates rise too quickly, it can discourage investment and slow economic growth. Similarly, drastic cuts in government spending, while potentially curbing inflation, could lead to job losses and other economic hardships. The Federal Reserve, often called the Fed, plays a crucial role in keeping inflation in check. It's like the economy's thermostat, adjusting interest rates to keep things running smoothly. When inflation heats up, the Fed can raise rates to cool things down. Conversely, if the economy is sluggish, the Fed might lower rates to stimulate growth. The Fed's decisions have a ripple effect throughout the economy. For example, when the Fed lowers interest rates, it becomes cheaper for businesses to borrow money, leading to investments and job creation. Consumers also benefit from lower borrowing costs on mortgages, car loans, and credit cards. However, the Fed's task is not always straightforward. Unforeseen events such as global pandemics or geopolitical crises can disrupt the economic balance and create inflationary pressures. The Fed must constantly monitor economic indicators and make adjustments to keep inflation within a healthy range. In conclusion, inflation is a complex issue with far-reaching consequences. While the U.S. government can't control every factor that contributes to inflation, it plays a crucial role in managing its impact through monetary and fiscal policies. The Federal Reserve, as the steward of monetary policy, has a significant responsibility in maintaining price stability and ensuring a healthy economic environment for all Americans.